Hi, Keisha here of New World Tarot, and thank you for joining me today for another vlog. So here we are on this spooky Friday the 13th, and just remember, if any black cats should cross your path today, in many cultures, black cats are actually considered great luck and great fortune, so embrace that instead, all right? So here we are in September, and I still am a little bit in disbelief, as I am every single year that we get to this part of the year. And I'm just sitting here like, where did the summer go? Please come back. Summer is, of course, my favorite time of year. And so this time of year for me is when the autumn always comes in. It's always been a little bittersweet for me. And it's bitter because a part of me wants summer forever, and well, technically we do have a few weeks left. The autumnal equinox isn't until the 23rd. So let's just relish the last days of summer and just really just enjoy the cooler and milder part of the summer. And I hope you're able to do so as well. All right, but the sweet part of the bittersweet is certainly to be noted because on the other side, it's almost autumn, and that means it's almost Halloween. All right, that's right. Halloween is my favorite holiday, and I'm sure you enjoy it too. And it is coming up. And for me, it's already phase 1 of Halloween season. But to me, the official open season sign in Halloween is the autumnal equinox. So, yep, on the weekend before September 23rd, I will be decorating my house for Halloween. And the most important reason I'm mentioning Halloween is because it's time for another free giveaway. And we're doing a Halloween divination goodie bag giveaway this year to one special winner. And we got a very Halloween-y tarot deck. We got a very spooky oracle deck and a little fun something extra as well. So for more info on that, just please check out the link. And all you have to do is enter. All you have to do to enter is to be signed up for the newsletter. And New World Tarot is a super small enterprise right now. So you have a great chance at winning, trust me. Just make sure you're all signed up for the newsletter for your chance to win the Halloween divination goodie bag. Okay? All right, so we have arrived at another full moon. And the full moon is, of course, the apex of the lunar cycle. It's when the moon is full and acts as a huge mirror to the sun, really providing an astounding amount of reflected light that really washes over everything. And the full moon, to me, is all about aligning ourselves with the great lunar power that we really see in the sky. It's all about doing what's needed in order to really reach our greatest power. And this includes illuminating the darker aspects of our lives and burning away what is keeping us from our power. Now, this full moon arrives in the sign of Pisces. And the sign of Pisces is an enigma. Pisces is symbolized by the fish, and for good reason. Just like the fish, Pisces is at home in the deep depths of mystery and the unknown and the uncharted. And Pisces is very much associated with emotions, with intuition, with dreams, and even with unknown energies such as psychic ability and ESP. What I like to call the clairs, those psychic knowledge and sensings like clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience. I associate those whenever I think of Pisces. In fact, I've heard it said before, and several times, that Pisceans are the most likely people in the zodiac to have very strong psychic abilities, okay? Pisces is also associated with the subconscious mind. And the mind is often seen as having two parts, the smaller conscious mind and the bigger and more powerful subconscious mind. Now, the conscious mind is that part of your mind that sits at the forefront of your brain. Whenever you analyze, whenever you decide and rationalize and observe and deduce and just think, you're actually using your conscious mind. And on the other hand, your subconscious mind is responsible for practically everything else. Your subconscious mind runs your body. It tells your lungs to breathe. It tells your heart to pump. It tells your eyes to blink. It tells your hormones to release at certain times and not to release at other times. And it tells your hair and your nails to grow. And your subconscious mind is also responsible for the programming of your behavior. Your beliefs and your fears can shape your future and decide if you embrace your power or if you don't come into your full power. And your subconscious mind is the key to those beliefs and fears. So to really dive a little deeper into this, I'd like to briefly discuss the tarot card. And this card is the moon. Now in a moment, I should have a few images on the screen of a few moon cards that I really enjoy. Now, the moon, despite its name, is actually traditionally associated with the sign of Pisces. And the moon is so many things, all right? The moon is a beautiful, rich, and very complex card. And now in this layout here, I've chosen some darker moon cards here, as I'm more right now talking about the shadow aspect of this card, as that kind of fits my topic today. But the moon is by no means a bad card, okay? The moon is a powerful card that has both light and dark aspects and associations, like all of the tarot. And, definitely realize that the moon can be the obstacle, and the moon can also be the remedy and the prescription to your ills, okay? But like, for example, the moon is often about recovery, rest, and surrendering to cycles, and really just giving in to the ebbs and flows of energy and the naturalness of that. You can't, as a person, as a human, be go, go, go all the time. And when your body and your mind says that enough is enough and it's time to take a break and just take care of yourself, that's the moon card, okay? The moon is also often about women's mysteries and magic and the occult and even menstrual cycles as well. It's funny, this card often comes up a lot, like for me personally, when I am dealing with my cycle. Now, however, the moon also has a dark side, and this card is also about those very wild and untamed emotions that are an inconvenience to you. It's about those wild and untamed emotions that might frighten you or embarrass you when they surface. This card is about that part of yourself that is misunderstood. It's, that part of yourself that's misunderstood by others and even by you. And it's that part of you that's natural, that's raw, and that's unpredictable, as opposed to that side of you that has been cultivated to be proper and socially acceptable, okay? The moon is the mystery. It's the shadow. It's the wildness. It's the magic that really lies deep within you, okay? So here I have chosen a few moon cards, and so these are some of my favorites. Now I actually have, again, shadow and light. I'm more associated with the shadow aspect. That's the part of the moon that makes us uncomfortable. And because of that, I've actually purposely left out some beautiful moon cards that are in some other tarot decks that actually show more of the strength and the power and the beauty of this card and the strong feminism that's in that's also associated with this card. I've purposely not selected those, but I've chosen these ones instead. So we have here four examples that more show the shadowy side. And on the top row, top left-hand corner, we have the world's most popular tarot card image of the moon, which is from the original Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And we, of course, see this twisting, winding path that's going off into the mountain, to the unknown, between these two towers. And we have on one side a domestic dog, and on the other a wild wolf. And we have water at the bottom, and little, I believe it's a crayfish, crawling out of the depths of the water onto land. And obviously there's so much symbolism going on here. Most markedly, we have the domestic dog representing the tame part of you, the wild wolf representing that wild part of you, okay? And they're both there together, okay? And the little crayfish, a very subterranean water creature, emerging from the depths out onto land, and he could be sort of a very frightening looking creature, an alien looking creature, but, he actually is comfortable on both worlds. He lives in the water, but he's actually emerging now onto the shore. All right, so one over from that, we have the moon card from the Halloween tarot, which I'm just busting out just now. And we, of course, have a werewolf here. And we also have that same sort of imagery. We got the domestic dog down the corner and the werewolf. And what is the whole aspect of a werewolf? Is someone who is constantly fighting, right, the curse of the werewolf. which is the creature always trying to burst out from within, that something he's trying to hide, and something that causes terror and causes all sorts of issues in his life if he lets this emerge. Okay, something he's always trying to keep hidden as well. Okay, and then to the right of that, we have the moon from the dearly departed Bastard Tarot, and this is just, again, just a darker image of a moon. We have a very archaic looking, not too friendly looking moon symbol here in the sky, looking over sort of a very kind of twilight, barren sort of landscape there down below. And then down below, the big card here, we have the moon from the Dark Mansion Tarot, which is an amazing, beautiful deck. And it's funny, and again, how I mentioned how I purposely left out the more positive, more strength, more light moon cards. This deck actually does come with 2 moon cards, and I've chosen the darker of the 2. And obviously you see this dark creature kind of looming over the landscape, this girl kind of boggling up at him, and we got a little domestic dog down in the corner, lots of water, and a very warped and twisted, nightmarish sort of landscape going on. Okay, so now the moon card is also heavily associated with the subconscious mind, okay, as well as with some of the other things I've discussed. And whenever we struggle with repeating patterns in our lives, and we keep making the same mistakes repeatedly, and we can't seem to get a foothold in the right direction, it is highly probable that there is a pattern that has been burned into the subconscious mind. Now, for some reason, we learn to act in certain ways and keep acting in these ways repeatedly, even when our actions don't get us what we want. So this full moon in Pisces, I really want you to consider your own subconscious mind's role in what you have or do not have in your life. The best way to dig into this is to use either a journal or a digital document like a Microsoft Word and have a fresh page open. All right, so if you do have your journal or your fresh document open, what you want to do is you want to take a moment and choose just one area of your life that you may struggle in. And one key to figuring out what area you may have some subconscious blocks in is to find an area that you seem to have a repeating pattern in. And it could be an area where you seem to have this like never-ending loop of struggle or pain. For example, if you keep struggling with keeping a good job, for example, this could be an area worthy of exploration. Or if you keep ending up in unhealthy relationships, this could be an area worthy of exploration. Now, once you've figured out that area, you're then going to ask yourself, what are my beliefs in this area? In other words, what is true to you in your viewpoint of this area of your life? If you struggle to keep a good job, for example, and every time you find a good job, something happens and you find yourself fired or having to quit, then what are your beliefs about jobs? Think of 5 things. So in this case, those 5 beliefs might be, it's impossible to find a good job, or I can't manage to keep a good job, or there is no such thing as a great job or a perfect job, or simply life is against me, or I just can't get a break in life, okay? So once you've written down 5 or more beliefs in this area, I would like you to now explore those beliefs. So you're really going to take a look at what you wrote and ask yourself, why are these beliefs within me? What has happened in my life that has caused me to believe these things? And more importantly, I want you to decide if these beliefs are serving you. Are these beliefs that are going to give you what you want? And I know you're probably going to argue and push back if you're anything like me and say, but yeah, of course it's the truth. Just look at my life. Of course life is against me. Why else can I keep a job? Or whatever else it is that you struggle with. But my reply to you is, you're right. Whatever you believe is indeed shaping your life. And that's the power of your subconscious mind. So I ask again, is what you believe helping you or hindering you? If you believe you just can't get ahead, even if you feel it's true right now, you must admit that that belief is not helping you, okay? It's not a belief that's going to do you any favors. It's just going to give you more of the same, which is great if you want more of the same. But if you want change, you're going to need to change your beliefs and your behavior. And that brings us on to our next step. So you're then going to ask, what is a belief that could bring about more positive change? I then want you to take a few minutes and think of one empowering belief for each disempowering belief that you just wrote. For example, I want you to really draw a slash through the phrase that you wrote as an example. It's impossible to find a good job. Okay, so I'm going to take a slash through that, and instead you're going to write, I can easily find a wonderful job. All right, so you're going to do that for all of your beliefs. All right, you're going to take that original disempowering belief and you're going to flip it into and create one that is more empowering. Now, once you have your new beliefs, I want you to write them on sticky notes or note cards and carry them with you. Or even better, you can use affirmation apps that will pop up on your phone. And I actually have one, and I don't get a cent. I'm not at all any sort of paid representative, but I believe I believe it's something Creator. I actually am going to try to find the name of the app, and I will hopefully put it in the information below. But it's an affirmation app that I actually use a lot. I still have it on my phone, and it's great because you can actually program little pop-ups that come out throughout the day, which is awesome. And I highly recommend it. You don't have to think about it. You just program it in. It's totally free, and they just pop up on your phone like a little reminder. And it's great because you can. And it has a little thing where you can tap it. You say it 5 times, and each time you say it, you tap it, and then it makes a little like magic sound, and it goes off into the universe. And I just definitely recommend it, if that's something that you're interested in, okay? But regardless of whether you use an app or you use cards or sticky notes or anything like that, make sure you read these new beliefs at least 5 times a day for at least 30 days. So after you've done this for all of your beliefs, I then want you to have an honest confrontation with those new belief sets, okay? It's likely that you may laugh at them or think them completely ridiculous, After all, isn't there all this evidence to the contrary? I want you to really take a look and ask yourself, what am I afraid of by adopting these new beliefs? Okay, what am I afraid of by adopting these new beliefs? And that, at its base, is truly the heart of the matter. What scares you about releasing disempowering beliefs and adopting new ones? What is it that gives you that hesitation? Is it the fear that you're kidding yourself and that nothing will change? Okay. Well, one thing I want to say towards that is, what have you got to lose? We as humans are so afraid to deviate from the path, and we would so often rather be comfortable than successful. But I need to remind you that the most successful people in our society are actually the opposite. They deviate from the norm and the comfortable, and they take chances. Life is all about it's all about walking the winding and mountainous wild path of the moon card. Okay, it's about adventure, and it's about facing the shadows. And once you have faced your own fears and braved your own shadows, the glorious sun card, which is the next card in the major arcana, awaits you on the other side. Okay. So with success, glory, and the eradication of fear, these things await you on the other side of the journey through the moon. Okay? So face your fears, reprogram that subconscious mind, and always move towards what is going to give you strength and what is going to give you success. Okay? All right. So I just want to finish up very quickly with a very quick little bridge moon draw here. All right, and we are going to actually choose some cards here. And so the question that we will kind of want to ask ourselves is, how can we, as students of how to use our subconscious mind, students of how to really master our own program, our own spiritual journey, what action can we best take in order to clear our subconscious blocks and achieve success. Okay, so I would like to use a quick little bridge draw. So to represent us as students, I've selected the Page of Cups. All right, and I'm going to have this spread up larger on the screen in a moment. But the Page of Cups, of course, is the student card. It is the card of the person making the journey, okay, who's starting at the beginning and has much to learn about emotions, about how to use our subconscious mind. All right, and as our goal, I'm actually going to use the moon, okay, crossed by the sun. All right, and again, the moon is not always a bad card. And often, as I said before, the moon is actually what is needed. The moon has so many things that are within its energy. But in this case, we are emphasizing the shadow side of the moon. And what we're going to do is we're going to cross that with the revelation and the revealing of the sun, which is about clarity. It's about shining light on all the shadow aspects of our lives, and also about what is just being not afraid of the shadows and looking at things in the clear, sober light of day, so that we can be successful in life and happy, and we can burn away what is no longer needed. So I'm actually going to do the moon reversed, crossed by the sun, as our goal. Okay, so what action can we best take in order to clear our subconscious blocks, okay, and embrace the success and the glory and fearlessness, okay, that we are deserving of. All right. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. Wow. Jesus. Cards all over the place here. One more. Okay. We have the Ace of Cups. Beautiful card. Of course, I'm going to have all of these laid out for you in a moment. Okay, so the card that we selected was the Ace of Cups. And you can see this is a beautiful image where we have the hand holding the Holy Grail, which is just sprouting out all this life-giving water. And when I think of the Ace of Cups, I think of just a gift of immense emotion. And usually it is positive emotion. Like usually it means embracing just a lot of love, a gift of a whole lot of joy, a whole lot of bliss, a whole lot of happiness, and also healing as well. And however, though, that certainly can be the case, but the Ace of Cups to me is also symbolic of any sort of strong emotion as well. And when I think of this here is how we can, what action we can take to really kind of clear out our subconscious blocks. I think of it in a couple ways. So firstly, we definitely want to really embrace our own sense of self-healing, and we also want to embrace our own self-love. And it's important to note that in order for us to move forward, we often will have to take care of ourselves and really take a look at what has been implanted within us from others. And we need to really kind of flush that out, just like a water system, and just kind of make sure we are removing what is not needed and bringing in what is needed. And we have to be open to just taking in loving, wonderful commands. We've unfortunately gotten so used to, being so hard on ourselves and being so critical and basically having our hopes squashed, and that we've accepted these as truth. We accepted so many things in so many parts of our lives that say that we can't be happy in this way. We can't do this. Life is hard. Life is it. but that's actually not true. And life is meant to be beautiful, and life is meant to be joyous, and life is meant to be happy. And we need to embrace that and just bring that into ourselves. Like we often become stagnant, like stagnant water. And it's important to embrace that and bring in more love by replacing our belief systems and telling ourselves, yes, we can be happy. Yes, I can have the perfect job. Yes, I'm deserving of a perfect relationship where we love each other and we have all this intimacy and everybody, gets along well, and there is no violence, there's no fighting. We are at peace. I deserve that, and that is possible. And we have to make sure we bring that into ourselves on a regular basis. But also, the Ace of Cups, again, to me, is about any strong emotion and embracing anything. And this sometimes can actually include fear, incredible fear. And oftentimes when we are confronting the shadows that are in our subconscious mind that are preventing us from moving forward, it is something that makes us afraid. And when I see this card here, it's also a reminder that we should embrace all the strong emotions that tend to well up like a fountain out of us whenever we do subconscious work, and see what's there and then challenge it. And it can be very, very scary to, say, yeah, I actually am going to release this belief that I've had all my life, and I'm going to take on a totally different one. What if I fail? What if I look like an idiot? And all the other fears that come with it. But this card is basically telling us that we need to embrace all of that, all of those emotions that come up to move forward, okay? So just remember to take care of yourself. Remember to flush out what is not serving you. Bring in what is serving you. Bring in ideas and programming of love and healing. And also embrace everything. Embrace all of it, okay? The happy emotions as well as some of the uglier and scarier stuff that comes up too, okay? All right, so that is it. I want to thank you so much for joining me today for this vlog, and I hope that you enjoy the last little bit of mild summer that we have left, and I hope you are ready to bring in the autumn, and we will see you next time, and be blessed, be happy, be safe, and be loved. Thank you very much, and take care. Bye.